Okay, since we finished our visualize, as for now, let's go back to our skeleton. Let's finish our skeleton. For now, we can turn it off, our visualize, and we can just focus back the visibility on our skeleton. We can actually disconnect for now, and we can just show up the whole model as a template and visibility on a skeleton. So let's see where we left our skeleton. Okay, so it looks like we're having two hierarchies coming up. We have a root, which is our root joint, then we have our leg, and the tip is like we would like to have everything in the one hierarchy. So let's reparent our spine, so coming out from a root, and you can do it by dragging and dropping on the root. Right? You can see that nothing actually happens. The reason why is because you didn't enter the state, the Python state for this particular node. To enter it, you just need to select the node, hit the enter, and now we are in the Python state. So all the, all the tools and code works. So now you can drag it and drop it. Cool. So now we have a hierarchy which we want to. That's fantastic. But there's one last step which we need to do with that skeleton in terms of hierarchy. We need to create a joint, and the main joint, and the main joint will be a joint to which everything else is parented. If there's anything which is like belongs to world or something like that, we're just not leaving it like that. We're just gonna leave it under the main, and the main will be like one big control on the bottom of our character, which you will see later, which let us to like translate and put all the character wherever we want. So let's create that joint, and I want that joint to be oriented with the world. So actually I can switch the snapping to the grid and just click, that's it, and yeah, hit enter. So that's our main joint. Let's name it main underscore GNT. That's fantastic. And let's parent our root under the main. Yep, that's it. That's basically one side of your skeleton. Oh, the last thing to fix here is that we need to parent back our leg for some reason under the hip. Somehow the leg got unparented. Cool, that's pretty cool. Now, let's fix the orientation for leg. Actually, you can see there is the orientation of our joints is not correct. So let's turn off the snapping. Let's select our joints. As always, I recommend to just select the joints which you want to orient it, right click and show the handles, that's for sure, and we want to orient select joints. Go. And our joints are oriented in very wrong way. They're not even looking at the where they should be looking, and the reason why, let's have a look. Let's have a look here when we select the joint, and the settings change because I reopened the Houdini and the Python state didn't save the changes for the particular settings. So we need to just, now we come back to the -z and the y and etc. So we need to select our joints once again. We'll change the primary axis to X and the secondary to Y. Then we'll like right click on it, orient selected joints, and voila. Now we just need to orient our joints in a way that the Y will be facing forward. You can do it both ways. I like to just go and rotate it, but oh hey, I didn't turn on my child compensation, and let's do it once again. 1, 2. That's gonna be actually 90 degrees. I'm holding my control key in order to just have it, properly oriented. And here will be actually the same. Voila. And here it's the same. But perfect. Cool. Look at this. So we're having our joints oriented properly. And this is a really good start now. That looks fantastic. Cool. So that's our skeleton for the character. Now we will do the control parts, which is a skeleton as well. And that control part for our foot will be used to control the whole leg and also to control the reverse foot. So we will add some parameters for foot roll, to side, for the tip swing, and etc. So let's do that. So this is our skeleton. We can call it our main skeleton, and we'll create another separated skeleton node. The cool thing with that workflow is you can have as many skeleton nodes as you want to, and you can merge them at the end. So even if you prefer, you know, as your way of working, you could have separated skeletons for the limbs and etc. But you just, after merging them, you will need to be sure that they've been driven by spine and etc. You can use a parent constraint to do that. It's not expensive, so you know, you can do that this way. In our case, I like to have the skeleton as a one node and a control, some additional controls or something like that, coming as another separated node. So I will call it CTRLS skeleton. Cool. And I will just choose a color yellow for it. Great, just get some error, doesn't matter. And let's display our skeleton as a template and our model as a template as well. Cool, that looks fantastic. Yeah, let's start placing our joints. So the first things first, we'll place the heel, and the heel we want to place it under, like basically just on the bottom contact point with the floor. So we'll enter the Python state by hitting an enter. We can have the view base. Maybe we'll be lucky and we'll be placed properly. Nope, because you know, we didn't click in the model. So let's undo this and let's go back and let's do a freehand. And we just go enter once again the Python state. Here you go. And let's go to, let's just go back to the side view. Oh, maybe the top view should be enough. It's going to be our heel. Now I'm roughly going to place the tip one and the ball one here. I'm just pressing it here and then the ankle. Okay. And now we're gonna put them in the right spots and orient them in a proper way, okay? So hit the enter to finish. So let's re-enter it, and let's display our skeleton, and let's just move them and snap them where they should be. And we can turn on here the point snapping, show handle, cool. And we snap it to this one, and this one will go to the ankle. Yep, that's pretty cool. That's what we wanted. So the last thing which I can do, I can just raise this one a little bit, so it's not exactly where's the contact with the floor, it's just a little bit higher. And the reason why, let me just show you, that's actually a trick. So the pivot point wouldn't be at this point. You can also move it a little bit forward, just of course by turning off the point snap. So kind of, if you imagine in here rotation as you have it, you see I actually zoom in to see that circle. So yeah, that will be okay for now. The heel can be rotating around this, basically around this point. Yes, that's nice, cool. Or if you really want, you can actually put it to the contact point. It's up to you. Nice, so let's just have a look at the naming convention once again. Okay, so this is our naming convention. This is our heel, toe tip IK control, and a ball IK. And this one we can call the ankle, actually, L ankle IK control. I just forgot to add this one. And let's just name the joints properly. So that'll be L, heel, IK, CTRL. That will be L, toe, tip, IK, CTRL. elbow ik theta L, and that will be L ankle ik theta L. Cool. Okay, now let's orient our joints properly. So let's switch the visibility back to our joints, and let's display the handle, and we can also display the joint axes. Cool. Yep, that actually looks pretty cool. Oops, I just wanna undo this one and just go to the modify. So the heel one, we wanna orient it with a z-axis, kind of pointing a world, but be oriented with the legs. So let's zero it out, the world rotation for it, and just so that will match the world. And now we would like to do is just like kind of match it with the just match it with it doesn't need to be super precise for this in this case, just match it with the leg. Cool. Now toe tip, we want to orient it exactly as our toe and GNT. Okay, so how to do that? I will show you how you can copy rotation from one joint to another. So we switch the visible to a main skeleton, we select our toe, we open our parameter window, we just make it a little bit smaller, and we're gonna copy the world rotation to our control. So we select it, yeah, we have it, we just need to select it back, this guy, and we copy paste, and we go visibility to skeleton, we go here, we do this, and we go back here. You go over here, copy from this one, Control C, and go here, and we select this one, and we copy paste. Perfect. So now we exactly have the same rotation as our L, toe, and GNT. It is important because when we're gonna work with the IK, you will see that if you wouldn't, that can cause some issues. So that's sorted. We're gonna do the same thing for the ball. Let's switch the visibility to our main skeleton, and let's just open a notepad so I can just copy those values pretty quickly. Actually, enter it. Here you go. Yep, no, I cannot copy all of that. That would be fantastic, but that's not yet available. So the ball and this guy here. Cool. And now we switch here, and we go X, we go Y, and we go with Z. Okay, fantastic. And the last one will be an ankle, so we switch to the main skeleton, we select the ankle, GNT, and we do the same thing, we copy those values. Here. Cool, that's pretty cool. Nice. So we have our orientation as we need to have it, and now let's modify that skeleton a little bit. So we'll do the last modification. We'll add 2 bones here on the sides, which will let us to do foot roll, but on the sides. So you're gonna be able to rotate the foot on the side like this and this. Cool. We'll start from the heel, and we'll go to the top view, and we'll choose the create, and we'll create our first one, let's say inside here, so somewhere in the middle of your feet, like this and this, and hit an enter. Now orientation of them is okay because they're matching the foot orientation. So the first one we'll call L in foot IK theta L, and this one we'll call L out food ik ctrl. Cool. Let me show you the hierarchy so you can copy it over, and we need to fix the hierarchy a little bit. So our toe tip now will be parented under the out. So that's the final hierarchy which you're gonna have. Yeah, that's gonna rotation of this one's gonna rotate the foot like kind of on the edge, and this one gonna rotate the foot on the edge. This one's gonna be for the toe kind of you know, swing. Let's say imagine as you kind of like, you know, on a cigarette butt or something like that. And yeah, and that's a ball roll. And yeah, that looks pretty cool for now. So we can actually say that we have our skeleton done in this case. So now what we can do is we can just go and mirror our skeleton right now. So let's mirror a main skeleton first. So what we'll do mirror skeleton, each skeleton separately, like the controls separately and the main skeleton separately as well. So I'll show you how to do that. First of all, we can exit the Python state, doesn't matter, and we type mirror and we find a mirror skeleton. And we just can mirror scale, and as a group we'll type name equals asterisk and GNT, oh actually L underscore, so all the left joints will be mirrored now. And then for the start we'll replace the L tokens with the right, and we will mirror by scale and direction X. That's cool. And let's turn on the visualize. Yep, that looks actually pretty cool. Let's just make it a little bit smaller. Yep, that looks actually cool. Actually, just to be sure, looks like the hip joint got kind of oriented with our leg. Let's investigate it. What's happened here? You see, that's why having your own rig visualize, it's pretty handy. What's going on here? Looks like, yeah, we're having a spines going there, but we're having, I think our hip orientation is kind of messed up, but we can fix it super easily. So we just enter the Python state, and we can go to our rig tree, and let's show us our hip. Let's just enter the Python state. We're just having our hip, and let's just show the handle. Yep, that was correct. Yeah, it looks like the hip just get reoriented, so we can fix it pretty easy. You remember, we can just zero it out and just go back with our selection, hip, zero it out, and sorry, it's just navigations. Cool. So now we'll just point it X down and Z forward, and that will be okay for us. Cool. So yeah, we can close the window, and now if we go escape and you just go back to, yep, that looks pretty cool. That looks good. And now if we go back to mirror and we connect the rig visualize to mirror, everything's nice, cool. And yeah, so that's nice. That everything looks pretty good here. Now let's mirror controls. That's gonna be pretty easy. We can just copy that node which we just use. And let's call it mirror ctrls. Like mirroring controls, and obviously you're right, we need to change the search, so ctrl controls left to right, and yeah, that's it. So let's just have a check if we have a correct names. So you can open your geometry spreadsheet, you can type a name attribute that's just gonna filter that one attribute for us, And yeah, we have a right. Yeah, perfect. And the same thing here, we have our hip, main, right. Cool. That's actually perfect. So right, that's the last thing which is needed, is just to merge all of those guys together, and we just use the merge node. So that's gonna be our final skeleton here. Okay, scale merge, and yeah, and we're gonna start our rigging from there.